Welcome back to another episode of Football med Blerone. I'm Leon Grachevse. And Joe is back. What's up, Joe?
Well, thanks for having me. Good to be back.
I know. Bunch of stuff has happened since last time.
Oh, yeah. Been about a week, I'd say.
Yeah, it's been about a week.
What's new with you, Blair?
Yeah. Not much. Nothing new with me except I had 20 heart attacks today, which I'll explain why later in the show. But yeah, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very much indeed. I mean, oh my gosh. First of all, that Champions League final. Wow. 5-0.
Yeah. I got my prediction wrong completely.
Oh my gosh, so many people did.
I thought the Italian side were gonna win, and I was completely wrong. But
Very. I mean, I'm in the same boat as you. I did not expect that.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the final score ended 5-0.
What was it? Well, it was I think 2-0 at halftime. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
but
it
I
was
think
2-0 at
2.
halftime.
And I was thinking, okay, well, maybe
Inter can make a
Inter can
comeback.
pull a 2005 Liverpool or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
But unfortunately for them, did
No,
not turn out too well.
nope. Yep, PSG win their first ever Champions League title in their history, thanks to goals by Akrif Hakimi, 2 by Desiree Dude, another one by Kvicha Kvaratskhelia, and Seni Mayolu, making the final score PSG 5, Inter Milan 0. And that concludes that Champions League season. Wow. Yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
this Champions League, especially how we just saw the first ever full season in new format, it went better than I expected, especially the whole new league phase stuff.
Yeah, I was pretty skeptical. Skeptical. Oh my God, I can't speak. Skeptical of it. Um, in the beginning, I just it's a new format, and I think sometimes there's certain instances where you should break from tradition. And UEFA decided to change things up a bit, and I actually didn't mind it too much.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, honestly, I was same boat as you, skeptical at first, but it turned out better than I expected. There were some great games in the league phase.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I wasn't really happy with my team's results, but I guess it doesn't make Liverpool look too bad as the team that lost to won the whole thing. So.
Yeah, but yeah, wow, what a great season so far. But yeah,
I mean, I'm just excited for next season. I mean, I know I say this every year, but it's really going to be an interesting season next year for all of European football, and especially the Premier League, and
oh yeah,
as
yeah,
well with the Champions League.
yeah,
I mean,
very much.
Spurs. Could you imagine the scenes if Spurs won the Champions League after placing 17th and yet winning the Europa League?
My question is, who's gonna get sacked after doing that? And speak about getting sacked, Spurs' manager Ange Postecoglou got sacked.
Ainge Postecoglou, mate.
I,
I'm
so apparently Daniel Levy doesn't like winning trophies. And so
yeah, I don't agree with the decision to sack him. I mean, he made as crazy as it sounds, he did make his promise of winning a trophy in the second season. I think I think you got to give him at least one more season. If he doesn't perform in the third season, then you give him. Like if they
yeah,
finish 17th, then in the third season, I think you should sack him. But the problem is, he finished 17th, which is bad. There's no denying that. But he still won a trophy for them, so
yeah, you
can't
can't
really be
really
that mad at him.
blame that on
I
him.
mean, and a bunch of coaches are going to want to hire him now, and it's not like there's a lack of coaches wanting to hire him. I could see him. I don't know. Where do you think he might go? I think he
Oh,
might be in the Prem next year.
you think he will still be in the Prem?
I can see it happening with maybe a team that didn't, maybe a Fulham who didn't make the league,
Yeah, a
the
Fulham.
Champions League.
I don't know, maybe a Bournemouth, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that happening.
Yeah, I could also see him like going to Italy. I mean,
Nah, maybe.
maybe I don't know. The thing about Italy is like all the top teams just rotate the same 5 managers every season.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous, honestly.
Yeah, it's a little weird the way the Italians do it, because like Italian football, it's so like tactical, technical.
And they're just as
See,
aggressive
yeah,
as any other fans. I mean, they're just as passionate as anyone else.
yeah.
I can imagine if my coach one year was, let's say I was an AC Milan fan, and the coach from Inter came over. I would not be, but even if it was 5 years down the line, then I would be happy with it.
Yeah, crazy stuff, but yeah, crazy drama with Spurs. Yeah, it's Spurs saying where you win a trophy, you get sacked right away. Ah, Tottenham never change. Also, you want to know how I got those heart attacks?
Oh, how's that?
Guess who played today
It's Albania.
versus Serbia?
Oh
Oh
boy.
my goodness. That was a crazy match. First of all, the game ended 0-0.
Wow.
However, near the end of the first half, Albania had a moment because they were awarded a penalty. But much to Albania's disappointment, the penalty kicker Reymanai missed.
Who's he play for?
See, Reymanai, he currently trying to find who he plays for. He currently plays for a side called Sivasspor in Turkey.
Call the Turkish up to tell him to get out of the match.
Yeah, but honestly, looking at the match and knowing the Albanian team, there were some surprises. I would say the most improved player, because the only other way to compare their performance in this game was comparing to when they were in the Euros. I think the most improved player I'll say is Husai. Because during the Euros he had a weak performance. He didn't do well in the Euros. He performed poor. However, during this game, he actually was one of the most improved players. I'll say,
Really?
I'll say Serbia. Both teams they played well. You could show that
Wait,
they really had the passion in there.
he's not the guy who missed the pen, right?
No. That was Manai. I'm talking about Albania's defender.
Well, who does he play for? The defender.
Oh, Husai.
Yeah.
He plays for Lazio.
Oh, interesting. That's a good sign.
Yeah, I said
There's some
Husai.
decent Albanian players.
Yeah, yeah. And then during the second half, Albania's manager Silvino decided to put on some players. He put on Daku, Baidami, Uzuni, and Ramadani. Albania had a lot of chance. I mean, both teams are going in. I'll say the Albanian defense, they performed better than what I expected, especially the goalkeeper, Tomas Strakosha, who made some great saves today.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a
Well,
very intense match,
congratulations. At least you
especially
guys didn't lose.
yeah, especially with the game being played in the in Albania's capital of Tirana, in which
So,
the next game is going to be in October in Belgrade.
so why are they playing games back to back against each other?
World Cup qualifier groups:
Oh, who else is in their group?
England,
Oh, yeah.
Latvia, and Andorra.
Andorra. Gotcha. Well, I'm gonna have to refer England, of course, when you play them.
Obviously, you crazy Englishman.
But all the other ones, best of luck. Hopefully it's England and Albania.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, that game was crazy. Yeah, that explains all the crazy amount of times I have heart attacks. I mean, oh my gosh, if it wasn't for that penalty save, oh my gosh, my mood would be so different.
Really?
100%.
You'd be happy.
Oh yeah, but we gotta wait until the next game when both teams play in Belgrade. And you wanna know what happened last time that happened in 2014?
The drone.
Yeah, the famous drone that flew in with Albanian nationalist flag, which caused a fight, and then got Serbia to lose by. Pretty much what happened after that match was initially the game was awarded a Serbian win. However, Albania challenged the decision, and then the Court of Arbitration for Sport ruled 3-0 for Albania and deducted 3 points for Serbia's Euro qualifier, in which they only finished with 4 points, and then Albania got enough to make it to the Euros after a lucky win against Portugal.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy things. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, what a match that was. Yeah. We'll see what happens in the next game in October, but yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So a question I have for you. Of course, we had PSG. We had two non-English clubs in the
Champions
final of
League?
the Champions League.
Yeah.
But for the Europa League, I mean, we had we had the 17th place team beat I think,
16th.
well, what did Real Betis finish?
Re- Real Betis. Oh, yeah.
Because
Definitely higher than that.
so it just goes to show, like, even these lower level Premier League teams are quite better
Yeah.
than the La Liga
Yeah,
teams and
yeah, because
the
Betis,
Italian
they
teams.
finished 6th.
Yeah, I mean, I think the quality of the lower level Premier League teams are much better than the mid-range Spanish teams.
Yeah, it's just a crazy contrast when you actually look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just simply shocking. Yeah. Yes, the Premier League is doing something right. Although the thing with Man United Spurs being the Europa League final, even though they finish way closer to the relegation zone than they should. Crazy league.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also see teams like Crystal Palace going to be in there next season, and also the Premier League teams that'll be in the Champions League. Like 6 Premier League teams are going to play in Champions League.
That's crazy.
I know. Simply unbelievable. Yeah. Meanwhile, over this week, the Nations League semifinals happened. Portugal beat Germany 2-1 thanks to a late goal by the one and only Cristiano Ronaldo. It's Portugal's second Nations League final. They famously won the very first iteration of the Nations League back at around 2019. And then the other semifinal was a lot more entertaining than I would expect it, especially for an international game. Spain beat France 5-4. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I didn't actually watch it, but I did see the highlights and I did see the score.
Yeah.
And it's so for the final of the Nations League, I think it's as I saw someone else post on TikTok, I can't remember who exactly said it, but it's going to be the battle of the egos for the final. So it's going to be Ronaldo and Portugal on one side, and it's going to be 17-year-old Lamine Yamal on the other side, who
that,
both have incredible egos.
oh my goodness. Especially Yamal, where I would, people think, oh, he would give him credit just because he's 17, but you saw his performance throughout the season. He's a phenomenal player.
He might be the next. I don't want to say Messi, but close to it. I mean, he's incredible. I mean, he's only 17.
Sooner or later,
If he has the same consistency for the next 5, 10 years, I mean, he's going to be regarded as the same. Especially if Spain do well in the World Cup, for example. I mean, he already has what do you call it? The European Cup final
yeah,
under
crazy.
his
Yeah,
belt
yeah. He already
when
won the
Spain played
Euros with
England.
Spain.
Yeah,
Just simply amazed. I mean, sooner or later, within the next couple of years, he will be a Ballon d'Or winner.
can you believe he's 4 years younger than us? What were you doing at 7?
Well, let's see. When I was 17, I was smoking shisha in Kosovo.
I was 17. I was still in high school. Could you imagine just being a professional athlete at that level and not having to? I mean, he goes to school, I think, from what I've heard. But
Something like that. I mean, he's already at the top of his game so far, and he can't even legally drink.
nope.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, because I actually watched that game, and halftime Spain were winning 2-0. Then in the second half, 54th minute, Yamal scores. Then Pedri scores a minute later, and then they get a. You want to know what was a funny part about this? When Yamal scored Spain's 5th goal in the 67th minute thanks to a penalty, because I was watching on the Albanian TV broadcast, the Albanian commentator just started taunting France. And even on the 4th goal, he said, "Oh my gosh, this is like PSG versus Inter Milan."
It's funny.
But then France looked like they almost had it. 59th minute, Mbappe scores a penalty. 79th minute, Cherokee scores the 84th minute, an own goal happened. And then in the 90 plus 3rd minute, France scored their 4th goal. France almost had it. They almost made the comeback that they desperately needed.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just feel bad for Mbappe. Like, this has got to be his worst. This is his worst season that he's had so far.
I mean, leaving from PSG, and then
Yeah.
PSG win the year after he leaves.
Yeah. And then this performance with France.
Yeah.
It's
I
like,
mean, he does have a World Cup, to be fair.
True. He does have a World Cup. You know, you can't really attack him too much on that. I mean, even like in '98 when Henry won the World Cup with France, he didn't win any other stuff with France, I think, besides the Euros. But later on, he won the Premier League with Arsenal, Champions League with Barca, and then he will go to MLS for some reason.
Do you think in 50 years, Henry or Mbappe will be more remembered? I mean, of course, there's recency bias, but
Oh,
say like long time in the future, who do you think is going to be more remembered? Because I think what Henry did is honestly more incredible.
yeah. It's
Now,
gonna be
Mbappe still
hard.
has time, but
Yeah, that's the thing. It's still a little too early to tell about it. Because, like, Mbappe, he won the World Cup when he was 18.
yeah.
You know, and it's like, okay, how old was Henri when he won the World Cup? Which I'll have that right up. Because, like,
Was it 96 that he
98.
1998?
Okay,
Okay.
Henri won it when he was 20. So Mbappe beat him by 2 years.
Okay, but how many invincible seasons? I mean, his invincible season at Arsenal was pretty
Oh
incredible.
yeah,
I mean,
that's probably his most legendary season that he's had so far, winning the Premier League unbeaten with Arsenal during the 03-04
to be
season.
fair, they had a whole lot of ties, but it's still impressive.
Yeah, it's still unbeaten. You know, they won it. They were unbeaten. You know, you can't really take much to away. I mean, they're already in the Premier League era. So after the 90s, Arsenal were the only team to do that.
So you say that, but at the same time, Liverpool had. I mean, how many points did they have?
But let's see. Yeah, I'll have that season
Arsenal.
going up. Yeah, because club career Arsenal. Yeah, so yeah, so
So the question is, how many points did the invincible season have for Arsenal?
right now, yeah, I'm having the table right up. So Arsenal finished with 90 points.
So if you remember, in Liverpool's 2017-2018 season, I believe they had 99 points, and they still lost the league to Man City.
Wait, I think it was the season after.
Oh, I think you're right. 18-19, excuse me.
Yeah, yeah,
So
so 2018, yeah, by 1 point. Because so with 97 points, so that will accounts 30 wins, 7 draws, 1 losses. But Man City had 32 wins, 2 draws, and 4 losses.
yeah, but they just have less ties, more wins, but not
Yeah,
undefeated. So
but at the end, Arsenal, they during that season, 26 wins, 12 draws, and that was it.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I think Mbappe could reach it, but there's a big problem with Mbappe at the moment.
Oh, what's that?
He's letting a bit of his ego get into him.
Yeah, I mean that's true with a lot of players.
True, especially at that age. But I feel like with Henri had a little bit of humility in him.
Well, not anymore. I mean, have you seen him on the punditry with
Oh
Ken
yeah, yeah,
Abdo
but I'm
and
talking Thierry Henry
Jamie?
as a player. Thierry Henry as a
Uh,
player. I mean,
oh yeah, yeah.
of course, he's won pretty much anything that he could. He's doing commentary. He's doing punditry for CBS, and especially with the way that CBS, where they ask players who's their favorite pundit, and a lot of guys just say Henry.
Yeah.
He has a little bit of equal to him at the expense of Micah Richards.
So how many champ UCLs does he have? Is it one with Barcelona?
I believe so. Yeah,
So he's tied with Jamie Carragher. He's kind of crazy.
and Steven Gerrard,
Yeah.
which, yeah, Thierry Henry. Yeah, looking at his record, yeah, just one Champions League, which was 2009 with Barcelona,
Yeah.
in which in that final they beat Man United.
Yeah.
Which,
Well.
fun fact, that was the only Champions League final where Messi and Ronaldo directly faced each other.
Yeah.
Because that was during Ronaldo's last season at Man United.
Yeah. And probably one of Messi's first, right?
Yeah, early seasons.
Crazy.
Yeah. Crazy indeed. Have you been checking out the transfer window?
Oh yeah, I was thinking about talking about that next. So
Yeah. Florian Wirtz.
yeah,
It's
so we can start with okay. We talked about Jeremy Frimpong last season. He, of course, was part of the Leverkusen undefeated season.
yeah,
Not this past year, but the year before that. Um, so we signed him, who's a right back. He's going to come in and be Trent's replacement.
yeah.
Trent is going to Real
Real.
Madrid, unfortunately, but I think it's a great replacement for what the market's worth and what's out there for all the teams. Next, we can talk about Florian Wirtz, who is a German player, also from Leverkusen. Um, oh, I forgot to mention, Jeremy Frimpong is Dutch, so I think it's 4 or 5 Dutch players now. It's a lot.
Yeah, because there's
Gravenberch, Van Dijk,
yeah,
Gakpo, Frimpong, and of course the manager. So
yeah, Arne Slot.
we have that. And then with Florian Wirtz, as I mentioned earlier, he's a German player.
Yeah,
He was also on the undefeated team. Liverpool paid, I believe it was 100 million and then 30 million plus, excuse me, 30 million more for add-ons. And
yeah.
he, I believe, is a 10, but can also play a striker. So
Some
it gives
yeah,
Soboslai a little bit of competition. If you want to jump in there, Blaron, go ahead.
yeah. I mean, look at it. The deal is going to be around 153 million dollars US for Wirtz.
Yeah, so about 130 million pound.
Yeah, yeah, 113 British pounds. It says.
Or was it euros that I saw there? Maybe.
That was probably in euros, something like that. I mean, the US dollar's
Yeah,
been dropping lately, so
yeah. So,
yeah. Because even like
um,
Wirtz on his social media, where like people were saying, like, oh, he should wear the number 10, but then he made a comment saying, oh, he doesn't want to disrespect the other players that have it. You can see that Wirtz is kind of actually wanting to go to Liverpool.
we had also a reporter asked him after the game that he scored the goal against Portugal
Oh yeah, it did.
if he was going to go to Liverpool, and he kind of just nodded and smiled. I think so. So I think we know what that indicates.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
so yeah,
this
I
is
mean
going to
he's a
be a
great player.
big signing for Liverpool. I mean, I think this is one of the most biggest signings that Liverpool has made since Van Dijk, or since Van Dijk and Allison.
Yeah, I mean it's a great deal. Just I think this is a transfer window in general. It's huge. I mean, obviously, I think a lot of players are going to have to leave. You know, back when uh, Liverpool signed Van Dijk and Allison, they got rid of Coutinho to Barcelona, and that gave them the money to go to um,
So,
Liverpool.
yeah,
But now with Florian Wirtz and Frimpong, I think a lot of these. I think Nunez is going.
yeah.
I think Jota is going. He's good, but he just gets injured. And I think we're going to see, and Diaz, I think too, might go to Saudi or Barcelona. So I think we're going to see a lot of people go out, and we've already seen a bunch of people come in. And so it's a pretty optimistic future for Liverpool. If you have anything to add, there's also one more signing I want to talk about.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Milos Kerkez from Bournemouth, I think, is also thinking about signing
Yeah,
to
the
Liverpool.
Hungarian guy.
Yeah, Hungarian guy. He's yeah, he plays for Bournemouth. He's a left back. I think he's a great replacement for Andy Robertson, who's he's always been a great player, but he's just slowing down with age, and
Yeah.
so it's good to replace that left back with Andy Robertson now. No disrespect to Andy, but he's getting a little old. Happens probably to the best of us. Gonna happen to me one day. So
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a crazy deal. I mean, they're saying like the deal could go for up to 45 million pounds.
yeah, I mean he's worth it though. I mean he's genuinely one of them. I wanted Anthony Robertson just because he's American
Yeah.
for the Trent replacement, but he's a little bit older than they'd like, so that's why Liverpool never went for him.
Yeah, very much indeed. Oh yeah, speaking about USA, they lost to Turkey today.
Was it Nations League?
No, it was actually an international friendly.
I mean, I don't really care. I mean, it's pretty
But you
meaningless,
want to know
but
what's the crazy part? This is the US's third international loss in a row under Maurizio Pochettino.
what was the score? I didn't see.
The previous two was when they lost the third place match to Canada in the CONCACAF Nations League, and then when they lost the semifinal to Panama. And now they
No, but what was
just
the score of this game?
they lost 2-1.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
They scored a goal early in the first minute by McGlynn, but then Turkish player Güler and Aktologu scored the two goals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Ooh. Do you think Pochettino, because I saw this saying Pochettino working hard to get his Spurs job back with the recent results.
No, I don't think once you fire a coach, you can bring someone back. I mean,
Yeah. But like this start raises a bunch of questions.
it certainly does. But I think no, I think he's got to because these international friendlies are pretty meaningless. I mean, you don't have your best players.
True.
It doesn't mean anything, and so I don't think it's a good indicator of how well he's going to be as a coach.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean, could you tell me the lineups of the last game?
the lineups of the last two games, the Canada one.
For Turkey versus U.S.
Yeah,
No, Turkey U.S.
famously he let's see the USA's lineup. Yeah, a goalkeeper Matt Freeze. Then we got Robinson, Chris Richards, Max Arfiston, Alex Freeman, Milik Tillman, Luca De La Torre, Diego Luna, Patrick Agimiang, Johnny Cardoso, and Jack McGlynn.
That's not the worst lineup, but
Yeah,
it should definitely be.
but like
Was
before these
G
international
was
friendlies, he announced that he's going to drop Pulisic going into the Gold Cup.
wow.
Yeah, yeah,
I wonder why.
Christian Pulisic. Yeah, I think it is when I was watching that third place match where the U.S. lost to Canada. I noticed that a lot of the players that were coming from the MLS showed a little more emphasis of playing for the U.S. than the ones playing in Europe.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah, but Pulisic's such a good player. I mean, you can't just drop him.
yeah, but he didn't have the best season with AC Milan this year. I mean, AC Milan missed out on the Champions League. In fact, they missed out on European competition in general.
Yeah, that is true. That is rough.
Yeah. Cause like the biggest criticism with the U.S. men's team is, especially like with the European players, the ones that play in Europe, they're getting a lot of criticism of them not showing that same passion for the U.S. national team compared to the guys that are playing in MLS.
Hmm.
So I think Pochettino is going to try to focus on more of the MLS players. It's going to be interesting to
Uh,
see how that happens because, a year away from the World Cup this summer is going to be the CONCACAF Gold Cup. So we'll see how that works for the U.S. I mean, they got one more international friendly at home against Switzerland on June 10th, kickoff 7 p.m. Central Time. And then 5 days after
quick
that,
question:
yeah, go ahead.
where was the game taking place between Turkey and the U.S.?
Oh, the actual location.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, apparently it was held in East Hartford, Connecticut.
Okay, and then my second follow-up question to that: did Guler play
Guler,
for
the
Turkey, or the Real Madrid player that's from Turkey?
Guler, yeah, 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 Guler, he scored.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, Arda Guler,
Well, I mean, he's the best player in Turkey. I mean,
yeah, it's gonna be crazy because looking at the U.S.'s group games, they're gonna start off against Trinidad and Tobago, and then they're gonna play against
oh
Saudi
wow.
Arabia because they got invited into the tournament, and then they'll play one more game against Haiti.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so that's their group. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how Pochettino does with this U.S. team because I think he's still trying to figure out what is his go-to squad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see who he decides for the World Cup. I mean,
yeah,
honestly, sometimes the home field advantage helps with the World Cup. I mean, you saw Russia back in 2018 when they held it. I think
hmm
they beat Spain and Portugal or something like that.
Oh, I'm not sure. I know they demolished Saudi Arabia in the opening match.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they made it to the knockout rounds before they got eliminated by Croatia on penalties.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, in which that was probably one of the best years for it to be a Croatian.
Yeah. Took
Yeah,
the loss.
yeah. S- Speaking about World Cup and qualifying, Italy lost 3-0 to Norway.
I saw that.
Oh my!
It
What
was
is
just a
happening
cursed
with
team.
Italy?
I think they're cursed. I think it's the only definite, the only explanation.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Italy. Like at this point, I don't know if they're gonna. Are they gonna miss out on the World Cup for a third time in a row?
That's quite possible.
Because it can't continue like this for them. Sure, they were playing away in Norway, but like Holland
It's,
only scored
well,
one
where are they
goal.
placed? Because it's still group stages at this point. So where are they placed right now?
Well, they're currently. Let's see. Right now, trying to find. So in their qualification group, they're fourth.
Oh, geez. So what place do you
I
have to
mean, to
beat?
be fair, they've only played one match.
Oh, okay. So they have more matches to go on.
Yeah, but like, it, first is automatic qualification. They just need to be in top two to be safe. They just need to be in second right now.
So is it possible to continue on if you're
I don't know.
not
I don't know, but
in the
I
top
would be
two?
concerned if you're an Italian because besides Norway, the other, I mean, Norway is going to be their biggest opponent. The other countries in that group are Israel, Estonia, and Moldova. Yeah, which it should be easy, but don't forget that when I believe it was 2022 qualifiers, they missed out because they lost to North Macedonia.
Oh yeah, I remember
Oh,
watching.
yeah, so I would be.
I think Donnarumma is an overrated goalkeeper.
Woohoo! Really?
Absolutely. I mean, sure, he won the Champions League, but I, there's something about him that I think is overrated. I can't quite pinpoint it, but
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be crazy for them. Yeah, I just wonder, is this gonna be the call for Italians to get their stuff together?
yeah, I mean, because if they miss out, they're gonna have to wait till 2030.
Yeah,
I mean, of course, there's gonna be um, oh, what do you call it? Euros before then, but
yeah, sure. I mean, in between from when they missed out in 2018 up to now, they did win the 2020 Euros. So, yeah, I would worry if you're an Italian. It's just how you miss one World Cup. Surely you're gonna make it to the other. Nope. So at this point, how many more World Cups are gonna miss, especially for a country like Italy, who's won four in their history?
yeah. And you know what else too? Speaking of Italy,
Yeah.
you know who I just realized didn't start for Italy?
Who didn't start?
Federico Chiesa, and he's also not starting for Liverpool.
Well, yeah. Well, Chiesa is gonna leave Liverpool. It's been
Yeah,
announced.
he's upset that he's not getting enough time, which is fair enough. I mean, he's a great player. I don't know why Arne didn't use him at all. But
Yeah, I mean, going back to Liverpool again. Yeah, I mean, this season it was still pretty much Jurgen Klopp's team.
yep,
Next season, we'll truly see what Slot's team is going to be like.
yeah,
So yeah,
glorious.
it's going to be a very interesting one to say the least.
Yep,
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, like this season has just been wild.
absolutely. And I'm looking forward to next season. So
Yeah. Still got any predictions for next season, Joe?
mm, I think Arsenal won a trophy.
Which one?
I think FA Cup.
You have Arsenal to win the FA Cup. Okay. All right. I see you.
This is a random prediction, but I've seen them winning something.
I mean, to be fair, in recent years, that's all they've been winning is FA Cups. I mean, even like after when they lost the Champions League in 2006 to Barcelona, I mean, back when they had Arsene Wenger as a manager, all they did was just FA Cup, FA Cup, FA Cup.
I predict Liverpool to win the Champions League.
All right.
I predict them to win the league again too.
Ooh, so you're going for the double.
Yep.
What about League Cup? Who's going to win that?
I'm gonna have to say Liverpool.
Wait, who was that?
Liverpool.
So League Cup, League, and Champions League.
Yeah.
Okay.
The triple.
So I think that's going to be the treble. All right. What about other leagues?
And then I think Serie A. I think we're gonna see AC Milan have a comeback
Ooh. All right.
because think about it, Modric is headed over there.
All right.
And I think it'll be close between them and Napoli.
I mean, Napoli. I do see them. I mean, they just won it. So
Who did Napoli just sign? They signed someone from Real Madrid, I believe.
Napoli. Yep. I'm going to the Serie A portal to see who they just signed. So far, I didn't see anything. The only thing notable about Napoli that I see right now is they met the Pope.
Oh, KDB,
Wait.
Kevin De Bruyne.
Shut up. Wait. De Bruyne is picked Napoli.
I've heard that. Yeah, I don't know if it's confirmed.
It doesn't look like it's confirmed.
Interesting.
Because you gotta understand when early on when he announced that he was gonna play his last season at City, he was rumored to come to Liverpool.
Oh, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, especially
I
with
don't
the
even
money
believe
that
that.
Liverpool are gonna spend on Florian Wirtz.
Yeah,
Yeah,
never that believable to me.
yeah. Honestly, it would be a crazy squad if that happened.
It would be, but he's getting old and he's injury prone.
True.
So
Speaking about old and not getting injury prone, I got some news about Ronaldo.
yeah, what's up?
He is not gonna play in the Club World Cup this summer.
Interesting. He didn't want to sign for another club.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to stay at Al Nassr. And his goal is to play one more World Cup for Portugal next year in 2026.
Interesting. Did you see his post that he made though?
Yeah.
Talking about
New
that's
chapter.
a new chapter. What does that even mean? He's
Yeah.
just staying in the exact same spot.
That, honestly, I don't even know what he meant about that. Yeah.
Maybe he's just genuinely talking about the World Cup.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, this news was just broken like over like 12, 13 hours ago. And a lot of people are saying he's not going to play, including Fabrizio Romano.
He confirmed it.
Yeah, I saw a clip of him. Yeah.
Fabrizio confirmed it.
See, I'll double check on that. Because like other sites are saying he is, a BBC is saying that.
Did he be saying he's staying?
Yeah, but I'll be checking out Fabrizio Romano. Got anything else you wanted to say?
That should be about it. I think we covered a lot.
Yeah. Before we end today's episode, let's check on what if Fabrizio has said anything about Ronaldo. Yeah, because a lot of sporting website, ESPN saying he's not going to play. BBC said he won't be there.
If it's well confirms it, then if all these sites are saying that.
The only thing, Fabrizio confirmed it. Although in his post, it's a quote from Ronaldo saying, "It's almost decided that I will not take part at the FIFA Club World Cup despite receiving many invitations and proposals. There have been talks, contracts, but you have to think about short, medium, and long term." And then later on in another post about Ronaldo, when he asked him when retirement was, Ronaldo said, in quote, My mentality is to live day by day. I don't have many more years to play, but I'm enjoying the moment. There's no date decided for my retirement. I feel happy. I'm here to enjoy and keep going until the day I like this. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little shocked by it, but
Yeah, I'm a little surprised as too.
I thought he would have, he's very ego driven, so
Yeah. Yeah, especially for our generation. He is probably one of the most ego players. I mean, the only one I could think that could rival him based off of ego alone would have been Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
yeah.
Ibrahimovic is a whole different character, but yeah, I think they'll have to do it for us today here on this nice Saturday weather here from where I'm recording in Wisconsin. It's June 7th. Hope you all have a great day. Joe, any final thoughts?
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we'll see you next time. Hopefully very soon going into the Club World Cup and CONCACAF Gold Cup and an update on the Nations League finals. Here on Football Med Blir. I'm Bleron Grajewski. Joined me by today is the one and only Joe Richardson. See you next time. Goodbye.